Hey guys, it's SJ. Welcome to Baby Name Mondays. I have a very beautiful guest with me today. My daughter, Evelina Blossom, is sat just over there. She's not feeling that well, so she'll probably pop up and come and say hi. But today's video is the girl version of the boy video I did last week about rare, kind of forgotten vintage baby names. So I've gone back on the Office of National Statistics here in the UK. You can look at the baby name popularity lists, the top 100 from like 1900s, 1910, 1920, 1930 and all of those. So I've done that. And then I looked at the girl list, didn't I? What would you like to have been called? You're called Evelina, aren't you? But I think any of these names could suit you. I've tried to pick ones that I think you would really like and that are very wearable, as I say, or like usable now, but kind of would be quite hipster. So I hope you like them as much as me. So the first name I picked, there were only 10 babies called this last year, which ranks it at number 2,502. So a really rare name, and that is the name Maud. So you'll have heard the name Maud, and I think it hasn't really come back into fashion at all. Maybe because it's not that feminine. It's kind of got the beginning of the beautiful Audrey, but it doesn't have that softness. But I think it sounds really, really modern. If you sort of take it into a modern context, especially in the middle spot, I think it could be absolutely unexpected and gorgeous. So a lot of people think it is a form of Mary or Margaret, but apparently it is actually a form of Matilda. So Matilda was quite a rare name, like up until about 8-9 years ago. It was a bit of an unexpected choice. So Maud could be your version of Matilda now if you love it and it's been used a lot. Have a little think about Maud. It actually means powerful battler. So it's got a strong feminist meaning as well, which I know you guys really, really like for your girls. And Maud is actually a colour. So I don't know if this is like a made up colour by like a company, but apparently the colour Maud came up when I was searching this name. And it's a colour between purple and pink, but with grey mixed in. And it's really, really a lovely colour. So I love that it's got that sort of colour name to it as well. Do you think it's just super duper old fashioned? There's not much chat about this name online. So it really is a surprising and out there choice if you really are looking for something rare. But we've all heard of it. You can spell it with an E on the end, which maybe looks a little bit prettier. Would you go for Maud? This next name is a little more popular at number 609 here in the UK, so that's still very low down in the rankings actually, but it is the name Millicent. Now a couple of you have definitely mentioned Millicent in the comments. It is so pretty, isn't it? Millie is such a popular nickname as first name, and obviously she could go with the full Millicent. Millicent Margaret Amanda was the full name of Millie Molly Mandy. I've got someone here, Millie Molly Mandy. Are those teddies? Those are Freddie's teddies, aren't they? Would you like to be called Millicent? Oh, you would be such a cute Millicent, wouldn't you? You would. I think it is absolutely gorgeous. It's long, it's got the prettiness with the L, but it's got the surprise of being Millicent rather than Millie, if that's been used or taken. It's an old Germanic name originally, and it means work and strength kind of put together. So again, it's got a really powerful meaning to it, hasn't it? These are like sort of gentle names, but with absolutely beautiful meanings as well, I think. It was originally a French form name that was brought to England by the Normans, apparently, so it's got a real history to it. If you really, really like it, I would go with it. She could be Millie, she could be Cece. There's lots of options of nicknames as well if you didn't want to go with Millie. But when I think about nicknames, I think if you love Millicent, if you always call her Millicent, everyone will follow you. We're having a toy tour. This is like a baby name plus toy haul. These were your dolls you got for Christmas, weren't they? Your babies, yeah. So what should we call these ones? What should we call this little girl? Her name, if she needs a vintage rare name, I'm working this, people, is, oh, and it could be his name because it is a gender neutral name, and that is Joyce. So Joyce was originally a boy name, but is now more a feminine name. Oh my God, I've got props. So yes, Joyce. I love it. And I thought, oh wow, it actually sounds really modern to me because I think it has become like, wasn't like a sort of grandma name, but I think it was another generation along. But Joyce was coming up on a lot of these lists, but it's very rarely used now. And on forums, a lot of people were saying that they actually preferred it to Joy. And I've talked about the name Joy before, and it was one we considered for Evelina because I really like it. But the Joyce with the S, well, it's obviously a C, but that sound, is actually really pretty and preferred by most people online. I thought you would like to know. It of course means merry or happy as well. It comes from the same form as joy. So it's a great Christmas baby name, but also just for a rainbow baby, for any baby. You know, they just do bestow such joy and happiness. So I think it's a gorgeous one. For me, I've got a great friend with the surname Joy, so it sounds like a sort of a surname as first name and very modern in that way as well. And Anne of Green Gables and Gilbert's first baby was called Joyce. We love Anne of Green Gables references here. The next thing you'll definitely have heard of, but I doubt it is on any of your baby name lists, and it's the name Marjorie. So Marjorie is a real old lady name here in the UK. I'm not sure if you've heard it, but it is a very well-known kind of grandma name, and it was very popular in that generation. But here in the UK now, I think it is totally unranked, like nobody is using the name Marjorie, and I've tried to spell it a few different ways, and it's not coming up, but how gorgeous is that? With Margot, it was such an unexpected vintage name that's come right back in. Like, I would love to have used Margot, but it's really popular now. So Marjorie could be another one you could use. And there's some beautiful meanings behind it. So some people say it is a derivative, you know, obviously of the herb marjoram. So marjoram is a very aromatic herb, and it's used in like aromatherapy, it's used in cooking, and it actually means something beautiful. It means joy of the mountain in Greek. How amazing is that to know? And also marjoram was used to make the wreaths of wedding flowers. So the goddess Aphrodite apparently used to wear garland wreaths made of marjoram. So it's beautiful, isn't it? You know all of that. Margaret is another place it could come from, which means pearl. So it's got that beautiful meaning as well. I think the thing that's put us off is margarine, because margarine obviously is our like butter spread, and it sounds a lot like that. Maybe the nickname Marge having the kind of Marge Simpson connotations, but Marjorie, if you always used it, would be absolutely pretty. Like, the more I say it, the more cute and wearable it is. So yeah, it's a great choice, I think. Would you now pop it on your list? Have I sold Marjorie to you? Come on, Marge. Little Marjorie. Oh, Marjorie, you are so cute. The next name I have mentioned before, and it is the name Constance with the nickname Connie. Reading lots and lots of forums, again, people actually prefer Constance to the short form Connie, and it means steadfast, so it's got that kind of modern virtueness going for it, but it sounds so vintage to me. Oscar Wilde's wife was named Constance, so it's got like a lovely literary sort of heritage if you love Oscar Wilde plays as well. They had two children actually called Cyril and Vivian. I think Vivian for a boy, and then Vivian had a son named Merlin. So yeah, I just got a bit into a little side path when I was researching this name, but I absolutely love it. Constance was brought to the UK, was the daughter of William the Conqueror, so it's got a real historical presence without history, so it's a lovely, lovely, lovely one. I think it would definitely be on my baby name list 100% if I was to have another baby. So yeah, what would you do? Would you pop Constance on your baby name list? What do you think of Connie? Let everyone know in the comments below, because we all chat about baby names all day underneath. Another name that kept popping up in the very early 1900s that's not used at all now is the name Rosina. It was so often on there, like before even the name Rose came